we're starting to learn about the fluidity, the expansiveness of living energetics, and how material structure is going to change its very nature because of that. And it's all completely one-to-one with us as we change our conscious perception, as we connect very simply. And there isn't anything complicated to it. It's just keep connecting within the heart center, keep inviting that energy to flood you, to saturate you, and to help you just expand and drop the dross that is part of this feedback loop that we've been creating, so that you can effortlessly and gracefully move into those higher states like these higher beings. And to come back to your question, so they have different sizes, different forms, like in the more physical sense of things. And depending on how, because the Arcturians are very adept, both spiritually and technologically, exceptional. I mean, the stuff they have, it's just, I'm sure I've only gotten a glimpse of just the tiniest pinprick of what they're capable of, and it's just all over the galaxy. They're a very revered race for what they can do. And the Pleiadians, the same, they go way up in vibration as well. And they're very, very heart-centered, very compassionate, very nature-orientated beings as well. And there's just a rich spectrum of all different races, different sides, different expressions, different talents and abilities, things they focus on as a race or individually within their races. And it's just, it really is profound. I believe that when we get to that threshold state, when they can start having more, contact with us without breaching those bounds of non-interference, we're going to get to understand just how teeming and alive this galaxy and the universe is. And right now, because of the experience that we as humanity are going through, so many eyes of all these advanced races are focused here right now, because they are really, because our genetic lineage, we actually have aspects of these master races within our DNA. They all contributed packets of that into our DNA. And so the abilities of the human being are truly profound. And what they are excited about is when we start to open up to that, and when those abilities become active, what will we do then? They are so excited to see what humanity is going to do. Because, humanity generally thinks of itself, well, I just get up in the morning, I have my coffee, I walk down, get me paper and, do my usual things, And the truth is that what we have inside us, I'm not spitballing here, not just being just fanciful. They've been very specific about this, that what we have inside us is going to blow our mind as to what we can do. The energetic abilities of our DNA, when it's fully functional, is off the charts. It really is. They are so excited to see where humanity is going to take this, And it's kind of funny when you think in contrast that people walk around in this massive potential physical form, not knowing exactly what's there and what's ready to be opened when they're ready to do it, And so that to me is in itself is super, super exciting.
Well, that was going to be my question for you, is that have you been shown, or what do you see as we sort of step further and further into this, living energetics? Like what happens?
It really is, as they said to me, this can go as fast or as slow as you wish, or not at all, if you choose that. It's totally up to us. And one of the things that these groups have always said is what they'd love to humanity to start doing is just doing that simple connection, however you do it. If you find a different way that works better for you, go for it. But connect within and start understanding who you are as the quality of infinity of the living source creative energy. Because as these races, for example, go more expanded and more expanded, their perception gets so large, in any instant they can encompass, solar systems, even galaxies in their perception. That's how advanced, and it goes even further than that. That's, the potential of where we can get to, and our focus has been so confined to this little, earthly kind of experience, this physical experience. But as we learn to connect with there, suddenly there's an awakening that happens, and it's an awakening in many different ways. It's an awakening, an enlarging of the perception. It's an awakening of the sensitivity to energetics, and that's a very important one, because as we become sensitive to energies, we start to become aware of the nature of the living energetics, the potentials, everything that can be done with them. It's this rich evolutionary process that does involve this change in perception, change in energy sensitivity, and a change in what we broadcast, so that the outer world that we see mirrored that reflects our broadcast is going to change as well. But it is all up to us, and there's no push, there's no force, there's no request. It's an offering saying, hey, humanity, you have this as a possibility. It's always going to be there for you. You can put it on hold for a while if you want to, have a physical existence, do your whole, go down and, stuff your face with chocolate, coffee, whatever you want to do, or in addition to that, you can also have this experience where you start to build the bridge within. And that's an important thing, because if you think about it, what humanity's been trained to do is always focus outside, never within. And so we keep thinking we're just this biochemical mass that just goes around. We have an intellect, we have memories, we can do X, Y, Z, we can be engineers, scientists, artists, runners, you name it, we can be all of those things. But how many people actually stop to say, well, okay, what is actually inside? I've had a good exploration of everything outside of me. What truly it lies within the center of me that I've never paid attention to and was always there. Because when you do that, when you have that access point, you'll suddenly realize the answer to every question you've ever wanted is right there and waiting. You ask it, you get it right there. The solution to everything you've ever gone through is right there. And this isn't airy-fairy talk, and I think as coming from a theoretical physics background, helps people to really give a little bit more credibility to this, is that having had these experiences, the understanding that is given from this place when you connect with it and you ask questions is profound. And even helping with other people, you just, somebody say, I'm going through this thing, right? I don't understand what I'm going through. Suddenly you'll have this complete map of all the energetics that's going on inside them. And you could say, oh, you've got this, this, and this, and this. And as soon as they become aware of that, it just falls away. And suddenly, whoa, I'm suddenly feeling a lot better all of a sudden. The clarity of perception of energy and us as a living being really starts to open up, and it becomes simple. And this is another thing that the races such as the Arcturians and the Pleiadians say, it's keep it simple, don't complicate it. If you think too much, you're complicating it already. It is a very gentle, peaceful, experiential process, and if you find yourself getting too heady about it, now you're already going off down the wrong path. It's and it's a trick, isn't it? Because as humanity, we've always been trained to do, think, and nothing else. But to come inside and just be completely merged with that source intelligence, where everything that you've ever wanted to have access to is right there, that is a very, very different experience than what we have had as human beings so far. And it's something that just each of us has to do. It's nothing, I can say words, I can give you descriptions of my experiences, but until a person actually does it themselves and actually feels the difference in perception, feels what actually happens when you open that gateway and you connect with the source intelligence within, that's something no one else can actually tell you about. You just have to do yourself.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.